Guilty. I showed them love, they show me hate, but ain't no issues to it. We take them issues, tip that tissue, flush and get through it. We got them hoes, with them hoes, who been fishing to it. They get these souls with them dollars, now they flipping through it. This world full of sharks, we been swimming through it. They say they got your back, I help, that's sticking to it. I'm trying to save your soul, cause I was meant to do it. They say I'm out my mind, but I be getting to it. Do this for you, just tell them, hold on. Mind of the maker, spirit of the creator. We was taught to cherish the wicked and to embrace them. Born in this world of sin, not that life we chose, just a choice we make. What was the good? We on that grind cause the struggle made hustlers, envy made thrillers, hate. Money made them hungry, control became the mission. If you ain't got that dollar, you just can't get this. They created robbing and stealing, we got them hoes for them hoes. Turn wives in the hoes, so just to make the show out of you. Look right past the heart, but you never really know about it. Only what you're told. When this weather is cold, I ain't talking about that heat for that beat. I'm talking about that darkness in the breach, betrayal, them coffins in the deep. It's hell, you sure I'm saying sleeping on the trail, left that block with them scales. I showed them love, they show me hate, but ain't no issues to it. We take them issues, tip that tissue, flush and get through it. We got them hoes, with them hoes, who been fishing to it. They get these souls with them dollars, now they flipping through it. This world full of sharks, we been swimming through it. They say they got your back, I help, that's sticking to it. I'm trying to save your soul, cause I was meant to do it. They say I'm out my mind, but I be getting to it. Do it for you, just tell them, hold on. Do this for you, baby, guilty. Hold on. Tempted by the devil, devices. Tempted by the beauty and the lust of the women. I'm righteous, broken, a place in my heart. A night is spoken, truth to reveal, open minds. Many messiahs, I'm so close to divine. Feel like a wrist, I'm so close to the line. They trying to bring me down, I was told to just climb. Raised in these streets, but they open them nines. They praying to the sun, we just hoping to shine. They praise to the Father, he will not decline. Raise a child in the way they should go and still do fine. The business of life, don't put your trust in the wrong one. Might be alone, stay strong, baby on. Guilty, yeah. I showed them love, they show me hate, but ain't no issues to it. We take them issues, tip that tissue, flush and get through it. We got them hoes, with them hoes, who been fishing to it. They get these souls with them dollars, now they flipping through it. This world full of sharks, we been swimming through it. They say they got your back, I help, that's sticking to it. I'm trying to save your soul, cause I was meant to do it. They say I'm out my mind, but I be getting to it. Do it for you, just tell them, hold on. Do this for you, baby, hold on.
Let it give all praise to the Heavenly Father. Kahalabana Yahweh. Bashem Yahushua. Okay. We know there's many doctrines that we know about the beast. So we'll get a little bit to this image of many different men that they portrayed as the image of the beast. But we're in the future of technology. There's many images of the beast, but what is this image you were speaking of? Oh yeah, hold on one second. Revelation 13. Okay. We're gonna start at 14 or 13. And he go and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. So when throughout times there was different images, many images of the beast they portrayed, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. So we're in the future of technology. Back then they had a futuristic technology too, but it's certain time periods that they lost it, which they had to make image out of idols and other things. But through the beginning towards Noah's time, Adam's time, they had extreme technology from Satan to fallen. So, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak. You see, that should both speak and, and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in the foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. AI, world government, October 18th through 19th, 2021. Our best shot, AI world's mandatory COVID-19 vaccination. AI world's mandatory COVID-19 vaccination policy. To ensure maximum safety, AI World has instituted a mandatory COVID-19 vaccination policy for AI World Government 2021. We feel that it is our community duty to ensure AI World events are part of the COVID-19 solution to reopening safely. We are confident the IT community will rally behind us on the first of its kind policy. So you see this policy they make? They try to make policy of AI World's mandatory COVID-19 vaccination policy. So let's just read what it's about. I want you to register and all. The third annual AI World Government provides a comprehensive two-day forum to educate federal agency leaders on proven strategies and tactics to deploy AI and cognitive technologies with AI technology at the forefront of our everyday lives. See, they want it at the forefront of our everyday lives. I mean, they want it deep though, not just a cell phone. The current administration has announced several new and updated AI initiatives. AI World Government will report on the state of the practice on how federal agencies are deploying and integrating AI and data-driven government services under these guidelines. The conference convenes experts from our nation's strong innovation ecosystem across government, technology, business, and research to present the latest strategies and state of the technology to assist the public sector in leveraging advanced intelligent technologies to meet the missions of our government agencies. It's the mission of the government agencies. Remember, AI World Government. I'm going to show a few things.
In a dimly lit temple, worshippers gather to listen to ancient Buddhist teachings, delivered by a robot. The robot introduces itself as the Buddhist goddess. According to faith, this deity can appear in any form. The robotic preacher is known as Minda. It's the brainchild of temple steward Tensho Goto, who's hoping to bring worshippers closer to the divine.
今回ね、これを Many Buddhist statues have been made, but they were all just Buddhist images, standing or sitting figures. I wanted to create a Buddhist statue which can speak, make eye contact, and answer questions so that people can feel closer to it.
You see, they say they had images. Now they wanted
His
something
vision was
beyond the
fulfilled with the
image,
help
as
of
you
a
see.
robotics team from Osaka University. Hands and
had been designed to teach itself.
I was one of the commentators at the Lycée d'Or games, and yes, it was watched by tens of millions of people.
Throughout Southeast Asia, this was seen as a sports spectacle with national pride at stake. But much more was in play. This public unveiling of a form of artificial intelligence called deep learning that mimics the neural networks of the human brain.
So machine learning and artificial intelligence, initially with AlphaGo, is that the machine is fed all kinds of Go games. And then it studies them, learns from them, and it figures out its own moves. And because it's an AI system, it's not just following instructions, it's figuring out its own instructions. It comes up with that humans hadn't thought of before. So it studies games that humans have played, it knows the rules, and then it comes up with creative moves.
와, 정말 생각지도 못한.
That's a very surprising move.
That was a mistake.
Game 2, Move 37.
These AI are able to think for themselves, to progress themselves. And there's others that teach what I teach to an extent.
Place to come and land to be able to get the gold. So one of the things we've heard for so long is the Dragon family has 14 and a half Olympic swimming pools worth of gold at least, whereas the official gold on the books is only size swimming pool. So that gets pretty amazing to think about, like, wow, where is all this gold and how much wealth is that? It's staggering. And this gets into things like the collateral accounts, money that has been hidden away in various underground bases and so forth. My poor getting eaten alive over there. We are really fighting hard to get you this information in this nice spot. So anyway, the Dragon family also has obviously their own underground facilities where they're manufacturing craft, UFOs. They're doing really cool stuff with that. And so when you start talking about the Dragon family, you're talking about the dynastic Asian bloodlines that have a lot more money than anybody else, including the Cabal, really. They're much more wealthy than the Cabal. And there's been this war between the Dragon family and the Cabal. It's gone on for quite some time. Never resolved. It's still ongoing. So anyway, the real battle to resolve our planet is down to an agreement that has to be made between the Cabal, the Deep State, whatever you want to call it, and this Dragon family. They have to come to some kind of an agreement, and the Dragon family wants us to have full disclosure, full access to the technology. They want prosperity. They want to clean up the planet. They want to get us into space. All these amazing things. That's the Dragon family's goal, okay? And they are working very, very hard on that, including circumventing all of the classified programs to bring us a hover car.
Remember, all these people are the fallen that they talking about. They came from another planet.
You will have a hover car in your garage, and that at its maximum speed, you're looking at being able to go anywhere in America in seconds and anywhere in the world in 7 to 9 minutes. That's how fast these things go. So that is being worked on right now. I know this for a fact, that this is all being put together in the works.
What happened was I was having dinner at a restaurant here in Boise where I had been having some meetings with people that are in the business of building flying saucers.
Okay.
For all intents and purposes, they're aircraft. But 22 years ago, they built 3,500 of them. 2,500 of them were sent to Mars, and 1,500 of them were put on the backside of the moon. And they are spacecraft. They travel at Mach 17.
Yeah, we've talked about this. Okay. I know who these people are. Yeah.
Right. And you know the fellow that did that.
Yep. We're good friends thanks to you. So.
Yes. So here's what happened when I was having this meal with a group of people that I had been working with on there's a new flying saucer, not flying, well, we don't call it a flying saucer, it's a new craft.
Right.
It's not a normal craft.
Right.
And it flies at about Mach 44. And it's coming out to replace one that was 23 years old now. And it was so far advanced, there wasn't anything necessary. Now,
so Mach 44 means 44,000 miles an hour? What does it actually mean?
Well, Mach 44 is 560 miles an hour times 44.
Oh, okay.
The one we did before, I flew once from a air base. I think it may be Davis-Monthan Air Base. I'm not sure if that's the right one or not. But anyway, it's down in the basin between San Francisco and Sacramento. And it's in a hole in the ground that's about 1.5 miles in diameter. And it's built down under the ground, and they take off out of there. They have a cloaking device that's good enough that you can't see them with your naked eye from, say, 1,000 feet.
Right.
And you don't have the number of rods and cones required to see them at that distance. And anyway, they take off from there. That's one of their bases that they take off from. It's right in the middle of, bean fields, basically.
Right.
It's at the end of the San Francisco Bay that comes in and goes all the way down to, down south of, it goes down to east of San Jose, almost. There's no way east of San Jose. It comes under the big bridge there in San Francisco. San Francisco Bay Bridge. And then on the west side of it is Stanford University and all those little towns run down through there, Cupertino and et cetera, et cetera. And then on the other side of the bay is Hayward and Walnut Grove and Berkeley and so forth on the other side of the bay.
First Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Habakkuk 2:12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, established a city by iniquity. That's destruction. A city built upon blood. Hold on. Genesis 6:11. The earth also was corrupt before Yahuwah. Remember that. The earth also was corrupt before Yahuwah. And the earth was filled with violence. As in the days we are in now.
Tonight, the new mask mandates as COVID cases rise. Los Angeles again requiring everyone to mask up indoors, regardless of vaccination status. Las Vegas now recommending the same. In Florida, hospitalizations growing. Some stating more cases this summer than last. And one mother's warning as her unvaccinated daughter fights for her life in the ICU.
I wish I would have made better choices for her.
Olympic hurdles, the first COVID case inside the Olympic Village.
Welcome to the Matrix.
To the games already, exactly 1 week from the start of competition. Desperate search, hundreds missing from the once-in-a-century flooding in Europe. This highway, now a river. The president versus Facebook, the tech company hitting back tonight after President Biden's accusation that misinformation
Pains and sorrows.
costing lives. The misery due to delayed flights, the pilot shortage turning summer travel into a nightmare. The shocking video of an attempted kidnapping, how this mother's quick thinking rescued her son. And the power of flowers, how one doctor embracing wedding season to help her patients.
Cabinet, handled. Air, condition, lawn, mowed. Get started on your next home project at Angie.com or download the Angie mobile app today. Make your home an Angie home. Angie. And
They preparing people for destruction. What's coming. What they plan to bring. And have brought.
Good evening, Alexander. In for Jose. Tonight, nearly all 50 states are seeing a rise in COVID infections, alarming health officials nationwide, and making the possibility of a frightening reality. Experts warn right now the risk for those who are not vaccinated is extremely high, leading many counties to re-up their restriction. In Los Angeles, beginning at midnight tonight,
They're pushing that vaccination harder and harder now.
Indoor public settings. And just 1 week till the Tokyo Games, a new concern for after the Olympics. The first COVID case confirmed where many of them will stay. We begin tonight with Kathy Park.
In just hours, indoors will once again be mandatory in Los Angeles County, regardless of vaccination status.
It's a pandemic. It's not going to just disappear.
A move 1 month after California businesses fully reopened. But ever since the restrictions were lifted, cases have doubled.
This is an all hands on deck.
But the sheriff saying his department won't enforce the rule, adding they will not expend our limited resources, instead asking for voluntary compliance. San Francisco and Las Vegas also suggesting residents mask up again. And today, 3 Texas Democrats who walked out in the state's special sessions tested positive.
But they said mask didn't work, but they want to mask up again, though.
They were fully vaccinated. Nationwide, infections jumped nearly 70% a week, and the Delta variant is spreading fast. But numbers are nowhere near the 268,000 cases we saw in January. Doctors point vaccinations as a big reason why. In pockets where vaccination rates are low, rising cases causing alarm. Florida reporting nearly double the number of infections compared to last week.
Over 99% of the hospitalized patients for COVID do not have vaccine.
And in Arkansas, Angela Moore is living a parent's worst nightmare for more than...
Okay, they got people from out of state coming down here to Florida, running around, having fun, partying, and moving them down here. And moving down here, it's all planned.
In 2 weeks, telling THV 11 her 13-year-old daughter has been fighting COVID on a ventilator at Arkansas Children's Hospital.
It's very hard not knowing if she's really going to come home anymore or not. heartbreaking.
Mora says she now wishes her daughter got vaccinated.
And Kathy joins us now from New York City. Kathy, any renewed mask mandate there?
Well, Peter, the mayor is saying no, at least for now, but they will be monitoring the data pretty closely to see if any adjustments will be needed. Hospitalizations are pretty low in the city right now. The Delta variant is now the dominant strain. Peter?
Kathy Park in New York City tonight. Kathy, thank you. New fears tonight in Tokyo, 1 week before the Summer Games are set to start. Today, officials announced the first confirmed COVID case inside the athletes' Olympic. Molly Hunter has those details.
Tonight in the Olympic Athletes Village, the first positive COVID case, and now the IOC working to reassure participants and the Japanese people.
What will make these games then historic on top of this is the demonstration that this can happen in a safe and secure way.
Due to confidentiality, officials only saying the person tested positive on Friday during screening at the athlete.
It goes without saying that all the concerned people were immediately isolated, and in this way to pose any risk.
Tokyo organizers say since July 1st, 45 people under their jurisdiction have tested positive. At least one athlete, the media, and others identified as games-concerned personnel.
I don't know that you can expect to have 100% nobody ever test positive in this situation.
With until the opening ceremony, athletes in Tokyo remain under strict COVID protocols.
In a dining hall, your setup is, plexiglass dividers in between every.
Most athletes are vaccinated, but it's not mandatory. Japan's still lagging behind on the vaccine front. Just under 30% of the country is fully vaccinated. 1,410 new cases reported in Tokyo, marking the highest day since January. Molly Hunter, NBC News.
Out of the
Hey, back in action.
In Europe, the death toll keeps climbing as rescuers race to find hundreds of people still missing after historic flooding that has devastated the region. Sanchez is in Germany tonight.
Tonight, a grim search by air, land, and this sea that was once a major highway. More than 60 now confirmed dead across Western Europe. But with hundreds more unaccounted for, the true toll may only be known when the water recedes. The worst damage in where once peaceful neighborhoods are now in muddy ruin. In Arfeiler, the medieval walls not enough to shield families from the flood.
A week ago, these bars and cafes were buzzing with tourists. Now, this picturesque river town is a disaster zone.
78-year-old Marita, a member, drowned in his own home. She grieves him and her hometown. It's incomprehensible, terrible, she says. I was born here as a child. Dozens of volunteers helping however they can. Nicholas trying to help salvage his friend's business.
This is destroyed?
Yes, washing machines, TV, radio, everything, multimedia, everything is destroyed. You see it.
None of this can be saved.
It may be years before this town recovers. Activists call this a warning that climate change can wreak havoc in even the well countries.
That is really the climate crisis hitting every spot on Earth. Nowhere is safe, and this needs to be such a calling for rapid global action on climate.
This region's still reeling from a catastrophe that none, not even the youngest, are ever likely to forget.
And Raf joins us now from Germany. Where are all those people who lost their homes staying?
At first, people were staying in high school gyms or wherever they could find. Now, most are in hotels or with family, but it could be weeks before they can return home, and authorities are struggling to restore power and running water. Peter?
Raf Sanchez on the ground in Germany. Raf, thank you. There is dangerous weather here in the U.S. as well. Tonight, 48 million people across much of the Northeast are under a severe thunderstorm watch. The storm's produced damaging winds and heavy rainfall with a rare tornado warning issued for parts of New York City and New Jersey. This video captured a terrifying whirling above one New Jersey town. New worries tonight for hundreds of thousands of so-called dreamers, those immigrants brought to the country illegally when they were children after a federal judge ruled that the program is against the law. President Biden is urging Congress to take action. Guad Venegas has the latest.
Nearly 800,000 young people brought into the country illegally as children are part of the DACA program. It gives them temporary legal status.
We're every day with our work. You know, I know DACA recipients are doctors, lawyers. I myself am a filmmaker. Excited about that.
Like Jorge Cholapa, government figures show 90% of recipients are employed.
Numbers 35 and 33. So you shall not pollute the land wherein ye are. For blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So many of all these lands built upon blood, and by the blood of him that shed it, that's how these lands are cleansed. Joel 3 and 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. I will plead with them there for my people, for my heritage, Yasharal, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Artificial intelligence technology is rapidly proliferating around the world. Startling development keeps emerging from the onset of deepfake videos that blur the line between truth and falsehood to advanced algorithms that can beat the best players in the world at multiplayer poker. Businesses harness AI capabilities to improve analytic processing. City officials tap AI to monitor traffic congestion and oversee smart energy metering. Yet a growing number of states are deploying advanced AI surveillance tools to monitor, track, and surveil citizens to accomplish a range of policy objectives. Let's read that again. Yet a growing number of states are deploying advanced AI surveillance tools to monitor, track, track, and surveil citizens to accomplish a range of policy objectives, some lawful, others that violate human rights, and many of which fall into a murky middle ground. So we see the image of the beast, the mark of the beast, the number of the beast, the number of his name, and I do a deeper teaching on that through the scriptures. But I'd like to give all praise to the Heavenly Father. Kahalab no Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua.